Hello, my name is Ibrahim Ansari and welcome to my channel. And today we are going to study present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. In this video, I will tell the situations, the context in which present perfect tense can be used, the usages, its structure, how to form negative and yes no question with WH questions also, and then I will finally show where does a present perfect sentence fall in the timeline, right? So let's get started. Present perfect tense. When we say the action is important and not the time, we use present perfect tense. For example, I have done my homework. Here, I have done my homework. The action is important, not the time. If we know the exact time, then we use another tense. That is past simple we use. But if we don't know the time or the time is not important, then we use present perfect tense. That means I have completed my homework or I have done my homework. That says the action is completed. But recently until now, just a few minutes, seconds in the recent time. Until now, maybe my copies and books may be on my desk and still I am sitting on the desk. That only the action is completed and time is not known, or we do not want to tell the time. There may be these type of conditions. So when we don't know the time and the action is completed, recently we use present perfect tense. For example, I have completed my homework. Here, I have completed my homework. This is, we know, this is subject. This is helping verb. This is helping or auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. This is V3. Together, they are verb for present perfect tense. My homework is object. Right. So here we have seen a structure of the sentence. There are some subjects where we use have, and there are some subjects, pronouns, where we use have. So these are, for example, if we have subject like I, we, you, or they, we use have plus V3, third form of the verb. Right. If we have subject like he, she, it, then we use has, because they are similar subject. Has is to be used, then verb 3. After that, if you wish, you can use object. Right here, this is subjective. So here it is subject, helping verb and completive. From here to here, this is verb phrase and they are perfect, present perfect verb. And this is object. So we have got one sentence. This is a statement. Okay. And how to form negative, we will see. If you see any auxiliary verb, just after the auxiliary verb, use not. Between the auxiliary verb and main verb, here you have to put not. So this will become negative. I have and not. I have not completed my homework. Here is not. This makes negative. This is negative sentence. You can also contract this have, haven't. You can write here haven't. While speaking, we use this haven't. Completed. This can be contracted, these two. But for the same sentence, if the subject changes, for example, he, then this will become has. He has not completed his homework. Contraction will be hasn't. For example, how to say contracted form? Have not will become haven't. Has not will become hasn't. So these are contracted form. We will see now the third sentence. I mean how to make yes/no question. If you see helping or auxiliary verb, auxiliary verb in a sentence, just bring forth this auxiliary at the beginning. It will become a question, yes/no question. So I have completed my homework is a statement. Just bring this in the beginning. It will become yes/no question. So this is have I. The subject will go at the second place. Have I completed my homework? Question mark. Right. So have I completed my homework is yes/no question. This is yes/no question. You can answer this type of question in yes or no. So this is yes/no question. If you want to use WH question, just add here WH question. For example, what have I completed? For example, if you want to use WH, just add before this auxiliary verb. What have I completed? What have I completed? Question mark. The answer will be the object. For example, homework. My homework. My homework. Correct? So this is, we have seen here statement, negative, yes no question, and this is WH question. Here you can use when have I completed my homework, you can write when. They are WH question, you can write who, what, when, where, like that. You can write WH question. They are WH question. So this. After that, we will move on to see in what situations we can use present perfect tense. So we will see now. One, situations. Situations in which we can use present perfect tense. Situations or context. You can say context in which we can use present perfect tense. Usages of using present perfect tense. One, let us remove this. Two, one. When an action is completed, until now the action is completed, or recently the action is completed. When the action for a completed action, for the completed action for a completed action without time, without non-time. For example, I have completed my homework. This is, here the action is more important than the time, or perhaps the time is not known. When exactly the time, when exactly the action completed. If we know the exact time of the completion of action, we use past simple tense, not present perfect. Present perfect tense is used when the time of action is not known, right? So this is for a completed action without known time. When do we use this? Second time. In second situation, when you have experienced anything in your life until now. For example, if you have done anything, anything has happened with you in your life until now. So we can say present perfect tense in such type of situations. For example, Ria has not watched Titanic. The film Titanic. Ria has not watched Titanic. So here, in her life until now, Ria has not done this action. We can use present perfect tense. Ria has not for any experience in life until now. We say Ria has not watched the film Titanic. Here, Ria has not watched the film Titanic. Here, in her life until now, you can add here. The meaning is completed when you keep in her life until now here. That means Ria has not watched the film Titanic in her life until now. Maybe in future, we don't know, she may watch. But until now, until recently, until now, she has not watched this film. There are some situations in which we use present perfect tense. For example, when we see how long and we use how long to know the period of time until now. Until now, if you want to know the period until now and you are using how long, you have to use present perfect tense. For example, how long for a period of time until now. We use present perfect tense. For example, how long have you taught English? Answer can be a period of time. For example, for 15 years. This can be answered. So, for a period of time until now, we can use how long to ask a question. After that, there are certain phrases which are always used or mostly or usually used in present perfect tense. Let us see. We use ever. So for any time, on any time, any experience of experience in your life. In your life. Until now. Until now. This until now is very important in present perfect tense because everything has a relation with until now. So until now, whatever happens before any action which is completed in the past, but its result is still until now. So until now has a very important role in learning present perfect tense. So any experience you have done in your life on any time in the past until now. So we can use words like ever. And we use question, have you ever eaten Arabic food? Arabic food. This means, have you ever eaten Arabic food? That means in your life until now, on any point of time, any period, any point of time, anywhere in your life until now, have you experienced eating Arabic food? Answer can be yes or no, because this is yes no question, of course. So you can say yes. If you say yes or no, if no, whatever you wish to say. So in this way, but one thing is to remember, this is mostly used in question. Ever. Have you ever. It is not used in statement. I have ever eaten food, no. I have ever eaten food, no. Have you ever eaten Arabic food, Chinese food, whatever? Then there are some phrases in which we use present perfect tense. For example, if you say recently, that means recently has a connection with now. It will also be related with until now. So recently means maybe a few seconds before now, but the action is completed. So recently is this. Recently, if you use just, already, when we use since, we use or yet. Okay. Yet. So we will see how to use recently, just, already, since, and yet. Let us see one example each. Recently, I have finished my test recently. If somebody says, would you like to eat something? And until or sometime before you have taken something, you have eaten something. So you can say, I have just eaten a piece of cake, so I won't like to take anything more. You can say, I have just I have just taken say a sandwich. I have just taken means eaten here. This is eaten. I have just eaten a sandwich. I have just eaten a sandwich. So there is no need to eat anything more. I do not want to eat anything more. Just is used between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. It cannot be written here. I have taken a sandwich just. No. It is in the medial. Medial means in the middle of the sentence. Here. Between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. Here also already is the same. We have already eaten our lunch. For example, if somebody asks and you want to say that you have already finished what he is saying. So, before his expectation, you have completed the task. In that situation, you can say, we have already eaten our lunch. For example, if somebody offers you, would you like to take lunch with me? You can say, we have already taken our lunch. We have already finished our lunch. So here, already is also used between the two verbs. For anything which is already completed and the time, exact time is not known. Again here until now. Since is used for a point of time in the past or any time. It should be a exact point of time. For example, 10 o'clock in the morning, right? 10 o'clock or 10 a.m. p.m. or they are a point of time. They are points of time. 10 a.m., 5 p.m., in the morning, at night, they are points of time. Period of time takes 4. For 2 hours, for 5 minutes, take 4. Let us see since this is used for point of time. For example, we have lived here since our childhood. You can say we have lived here since, you can say childhood, since my childhood, or since 2018. Okay, so this is point of time. Since you can say here 5 p.m., 10 a.m. also, that is short point of time. This is in the past, but it is a point of time. Yet is also used in present perfect tense. It is not used in other continuous tenses. For example, present continuous tense. Yet is used for anything until now not completed, because yet is used in negative and questions. One example you can see here. I have not eaten my lunch yet. So this is negative and yet is used with negative. See, all these can be used, all these phrases, time phrases can be used with present perfect tense. The main, now we will see how to show on the timeline, how to show the sentences of present perfect tense on timeline, right? So let us see on the timeline. This is timeline, for example. This is now, this all future, this all from here to left side is past, correct? If we say, if you take any example of our past sentences, you can say, for example, I have done or completed my homework. We know that the action started in the past and finished by our talking, by the time of our conversation. The action is completed. But still, it has a relation with now. Until now, it is finished. Or it has been completed recently. See here. For example, your homework started, you started doing here your homework, and this action is your homework completed by the time of our talking until now. So this is until here, until now we have found our homework completed. So it has a relation here, until now, from here to here. Until now, everything is until now in present perfect tense. The action is completed. We can say this type of sentence, it will fall here. So I have completed my homework. You can say I have completed my homework until now. This is the meaning. But if we know the time, exact time, for example, yesterday or 2 hours ago, then this graph will change. This diagram will change. It will become something else, because you said your sentence will be here. It started here and finished here. But when we know the time, then it will be in the past. For example, this is 2 hours here, 2 hours before. This is, for example, this is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So 2 hours before, 2 hours ago means 2 hours before. So this will be 8 a.m. If you know the exact time, for example, completed your homework 10 or 8 a.m., then it will be in the past simple. You will have to write, I completed my homework at 8 a.m. today. You can say today or 2 hours ago. I completed my homework 2 hours ago. Or you can say, I completed my homework at 8 a.m. So this is, when you know the time, then it is past simple. If you do not know the time and the action is completed, then we use present perfect tense. And the sentence falls here. I have completed my homework. Right? If you say yesterday, that is I completed. Here it will be I completed, and here I have completed. This is the difference. Here the time is finished and we know the time. We know the time, it is yesterday. But here we don't know the time. So it has a relation with until now, with now. So action started in the past, finished by the time of our conversation, or by the time we are talking with each other, or recently it has finished. Anywhere it has a relation with now. By the time of our talking, for example, we are here and the action completed before. So present perfect tense is used here. It will form here. If we say another example, let us see. Another example, let us see. If you say, I have been to France twice. So 2 times action completed in the past, but you don't know the time. You have visited France 2 times in your life until now. So one time may be here, another time may be here. So two times you visited France, but you don't know or you do not remember the exact time. But you're visiting or you're visiting the country France completed 2 times until now in your life. So you have visited France 2 times until now in your life. So it has a relation with now. One is up to here. Once, first time you visited France, and second time you visited France again, but until now you have done this action. So one time, this is second time, it is twice. 2 times you did visiting, you completed visiting, and you don't know the time, you do not remember the time. Or here the time is not important, here your action is important, your visiting is important, your visit is important. Therefore, we have used present perfect tense, which has a relation with now. You did your task 2 times, you visited France 2 times, twice, until now in your life. So this is all about present perfect tense. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, and if you have enjoyed this lesson, please do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that whenever I upload any new video, I would be uploading continuously new videos repeatedly, so I could be able to send you the notification that I have uploaded new videos. So by then, thank you very much. Enjoy.